Alright, so I am going to go through the process of setting up a configurable product. And I made this little diagram here to kind of give you guys two ways that you could set up the configurable products, and it's just kind of a preference for you guys. It really depends on how you want to package up things. So what you could do is you could um, well, basically, these diagrams start. You kind of want to start from the bottom, so they always should start with the products. So basically, if we're assuming that event photography is a product that you guys offer, and it can have variations. Like event photography could have a drop-down menu included with it, like we've done on some of the other products, and it could be like I don't know. You could have three variations. So if that was the case, then event photography would be the product. There could be some variations. If you had like event photography and then there were like 5 different products that fell under event photography, then you would actually move all this up. So the 5 variations of event photography would become the bottom tier, the products. And then event photography would move up and be a product type. It would actually not be a product type. It would be a product type specification. I'm going to go into in a second. But basically, you always want to start at the very bottom with the actual products. So in this case, we're assuming that event photography is a product by itself. And then photography is the product type. And it's also going to be like the name of the slot. And you'll see that when I go through it. And then marketing media is your configurable product. You could set it up, well, let's say that the previous example I was mentioning with like 5 or 6 different event product or event photography products, you could set it up like this bottom one, and the bottom tier would be like, event photography product 1, variation 2, variation 3. Then event photography would become a product type specification, photography would be a product type, and marketing media would be the configurable product. Or you could set it up like I have outlined here, which is brand becomes your configurable product, and then one of the steps in building out your brand is marketing media, and then photography becomes a product type specification, and then event photography becomes one of the products. So it always just needs to start from the bottom, and then it just depends on how you guys want to break it up. So let me bring over here my browser. There it is. Okay, so first thing you're going to do is log in, and you can log in as your admin account if you want, which is what I do, because when you're making these changes to the configurable products, you need to be logged in as a provider. But you can log in as your admin account, and then you just click on provider here and do operate as this user. And so now I'm logged in as provider. I don't know what the password is, so I can just log in as my admin account and then switch. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to Product Wizard, and I'm going to hit Define Product Types. And so I want to create a product type called photography. And the reason we have a product type is because product types organize the actual products. It organizes them so we can define where they show up. And you'll see that in a second. So in this case, going back to the diagram, these are kind of the steps as we walk through building out this configurable product. So I'm just focusing on photography right now. So I want to create that product type called photography, add update. And that's all I really need to do here. Now the specifications that we were talking about, you could add here, and that would be if you wanted it to be, if we had created a product type called marketing media, and then when you get to that step, there's like 5 different things that you can fill out in that step. So that's the difference. If photography is just one step in building the product, then you don't really need the specifications. But if something broader like marketing media is a step in building the brand, then you would want to create specifications, and it lays out on the website just a little differently. And I'll show you when we get there. So for right now, we're going to assume we're not doing that. And so the next thing I need to do is just simply add any of the products that I want to use here. And you could technically go through and just add all of your products right from the get-go if you wanted to. Everything that's down here is a product. So you could go through and add all of these ahead of time. It's kind of whatever's easier, I guess. So in this case, I'm going to create event photography. I am going to just put something in there and then hit apply changes. You'd probably add more information, obviously prices and stuff, but I'm skipping that right now. So the next thing I need to do now is go to Product Wizard Classification, and I'm going to select that product type photography. So now what this is doing is it's telling Xcart that event photography product should show up anywhere that we tell photography product types to show up. That way you don't have to tell like individual products when you're setting up a configurable product. You just say in this slot show photography product types, and then it'll just grab anything. And then if you add more products down the line, they'll just automatically show up as long as they're assigned to that product type. So that's all I have to do here. Now I'm going to go back to Product Wizard, and I'm going to do Add Configurable Product. And so now I'm creating this guy here. So I'm going to set up, I'm going to call it Marketing Media, and I can't remember exactly what you guys have this stuff called, so hopefully it's close or kind of matches up. And now that I've created the configurable product, this is kind of the most detailed part, or where you're really setting up this process. So the steps are going to kind of match what we set up here for the product types. So basically it's like we're building a marketing media package. The first step that we're going to present them with is video. Okay. And then the second step is photography. And the third step is graphic design, or whatever you guys are going to put here. And then we can actually add what are called slots to each one of the steps. So you'll see right now I'm editing step 2. It's photography. I'm going to put event photography as a slot. I'm going to put product photography. And a lot of this just has to do with, this is more presentation than anything else, how you label these. And then I just made up this one because I couldn't remember what they were. I put headshots. So let's assume those are the 3 options that you can choose from there. Now I'm going to actually go and edit event photography. So here's the important part. What I'm putting here is that only, well, this part is step 2. That I'm allowing only certain product types to show up here in event photography. So I'm going to hit Add Rule. I can choose a default product if I want to. It pops up this little window. Event photography would obviously be the choice here. Why is that not working? Nope. There you go. Okay, there we go. So event photography is now the default product. Excuse me. So that was just one step, but basically, if we go to look at that configurable product page now, it should be set up. Okay, now there's some design issues here because we made design changes, but we made design changes when we weren't using these, so this stuff didn't get quite caught up. So assuming this wasn't black, it's easier to read, but step 1, video. We didn't add any products, so there's nothing to do on this step, but when you had them, it would look more like this. So you can see step 2, photography. Now I've got these different options here, okay? Event photography. It already puts a product in there for me because I chose a default, but let's say you guys don't put a default product, and you can add descriptions here. Okay, learn more about event photography. it's going to display a list of all the products that you've put in here that are classified for photography. I'm going to do add to campaign. The reason that I'm getting jumped to this page, normally you won't, is because I didn't set a price. And so Xcart, you know what, let me go back and just do that so that we can see how it's supposed to work. It'll only jump to this page, this is the actual product page, if there's some sort of options that have to take place. So if you did have like variations, drop downs, it's gonna send the user to this page because they have to select more information before they can add it. But I'm actually just gonna go back to products. Where is it? There we go. So let's just change the price here to $500. Okay, and now I'm gonna hit the back button here. Okay, so we go through this again. Media marketing, step 2, photography. Now I can choose what kind of photography I want. You know what? I want to do some event photography. Okay, we do learn more. It lists, it's got a picture, it lists information and about event photography. I hit add to campaign, and since it's $500, I don't have to do anything else, and it adds it, and then it shows up here in my list. Oh, did you want to include some product photography as well? Sure. It would go through the same process. Once they're done selecting all of the products that they want to use that are part of your photography step, then they continue on, and now they can add products for graphic design, etc., etc. So that's how you would build out the configurable products. And again, the other option would be, so when we're talking about those slots, here's what I'm going to do now. We're going to go back to the product wizard. And now we're going to add okay, so now if we go back to this page and refresh, so it should be showing up here. We added those to photography. Oh. I know what those are. Sorry. I'll show you what I was trying to do in a second, but that's not what it was. So if we go back to products, we edit event photography, and then our classification. Now we can add a more specific specification to labeling these products. So that's how you can have a more detailed organization of the products here, so that because we've got them all classified as photography, but then of course event photography is a specification of photography. So that's what you would use the specifications for, to more accurately classify the individual products that are going to show up in that step. The other thing that you could do here, and so this actually needs to be changed from, so this would be product type, this would be the slot, I believe. And then when we go back to edit our configurable product, you can get more specific on the slots. So we're at photography, and then we've got event photography. If I go here, never mind what I'm saying. What you would have is you would have multiple products showing up in this list. and that's how it would match up to diagram 2. So